up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about the Real Housewives of not Beverly Hills, Atlanta. Okay, excuse my tapers. This one is cooperating. It's on its way. This one, not so much. So we'll get it together. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know you stopped by. I'm trying to see something. Trying to not get this light ring in my glasses. But let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Go ahead. I already tell you to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. I didn't take that much notes. Let's just talk. Did they start off where they left off? Yeah, they start off where they left off. Kandi is still arguing with Courtney. She's gonna headbutt her. She didn't like the girl, doing all this animation when she was talking to her. It was a lot, and I didn't understand why. They said that Courtney was drunk, so maybe that was the energy behind her behavior, because I really didn't understand. Nobody said she was clout chasing, none of that stuff, so I don't get it. Shereé mentions Kandi's minions. I don't know, this beef between Shereé and Kandi, I don't understand where it's coming from or where it's stemming from. I guess, Kandi doing the spoofs, where she was imitating everybody. She did like a few of them. She did like a lot of different. She even did Kaya and T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison was herself, and I don't see where that would make somebody mad, because she was actually not adding anything to it but repeating exactly what she said. I feel like Shereé is just such a loser, like a poser. Like, who are you and why are you on my TV screen? I felt the same way when I saw Drew on my TV screen. I was like, what? Somebody asked me, what show would she be good on? I said, American Idol or The Voice. Go pursue your singing career, because this thing that you're doing where you're acting on this show, it doesn't make for good TV. Not in my opinion. She was bouncing her head in my face, and then somebody was like, that's Sheree's friend, and I think Don Juan was like, oh yeah, okay, so we understand where the energy is coming from. Shereé done pumped her up with some information or whatever, and now she has this attitude towards you, I guess. Kenya and Kandi, when Kenya got over there, Kenya said that, yeah, she is animated when she talks. And then Marlo was saying that everybody else was acting up except for her. Therapy works, girl. We'll see. So they told Shereé, you say you want to know, like, if something is going on with the guy that you're talking to, if he's talking to somebody else or doing something, you want to know. Shereé was like, yeah, I want to know, but I need for y'all to come with all of the facts. My whole thing is, the subject is Martell. What do you need? Like everybody online was just talking about like how what Kenya was saying to him and this and that. But like I said on Twitter, Martell doesn't have to say anything to Kenya for anybody to understand that he is a POS. He is a liar. He is a scumbag. He is a dirtbag. He is a douchebag. He is a liar. He is a cheater. We don't have to see how he is in relationship with Shereé to know this. He has a whole show on OWN where he has demonstrated his behavior. The Yelp reviews are out. So we don't even need him to get aggressive with Kenya. We saw him get aggressive with his ex-mother-in-law at the skating rink, hollering and screaming in her face. We've seen it. So we don't even need Kenya to say anything about Martell to understand who he is. And the fact that any woman thinks that Martell is suitable for dating is an asshole. And that is Shereé. She is so not smart. It's just not smart to even put yourself in relationship with somebody like that who has this review out on him. He cheated on his wife. And all the other things that he's doing to her, trying to get custody of their kids. He, like, and I was, girl, I don't even want to talk about Martell anymore, because like I said, Kenya doesn't need to say anything. She doesn't even need to say he's being aggressive. We've seen his behavior. And because he still has access to women, and desperate women will throw themselves at him, there's no consequence for his behavior. So he's not going to change. He is going to continue the behavior from woman to woman to woman, because y'all don't know how to put a scarlet letter on a nigga's chest. Y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all think I'm going to be different. My booty is bigger. I can work out with him. Shereé is a damn fool, and she's been a damn fool. And I'm so happy that Kenya correlated his behavior with Bob's behavior. And you see, Shereé didn't have nothing to say. She usually has something to say. But when Kenya said he's talking to me and talking like Bob, and then they showed that clip where Bob was saying that maybe I didn't strangle you hard enough or something like that. That's disgusting. And Martell just said, like I said, I remember on Love and Marriage Huntsville, when Melody would not let Martell in the house, and he thought he can come in the house, and she met him on the porch. And then he got in his car, he left, and then I think he came back, and then like was coming down the driveway, I guess going to go through the garage. You have no boundaries. Like, the problem is the women in community do not stand together with other women. They act like the man is now, he's an eligible bachelor now. Girl, it's a mess. What's his name said that Kenya's probably accepting everybody's messages. So Kenya took offense to that. And then he said he started cussing at her. She said, you want to know what? She says, well, she's accusing you. She probably accepted everybody's message. And then he was like, I didn't send her no message. I didn't send her no message. And then Candy was like, oh, he's saying he didn't send you a message. He didn't send you a message. First of all, they blew it up more than what it was, because while Kenya's has a point, it is a way to open conversation. Sending somebody a DM, it's a way to open conversation. Not to say he was trying to talk to Kenya, not to say he was trying to get with Kenya, but to message her is a way to open conversation, period. So Kenya's rationale is, I just wanted to let you know so you won't hear it from anybody else. Here comes Martell back saying, oh yeah, I did message you. That was 2 years ago. Kenya was saying it was like 6 months ago. They showed the date. It was in 2020. So 2 years ago. He says, I don't care if I was trying to F you 2 years ago. Why are you talking about it? Because we are letting you know that you probably was trying to make your rounds with these women, trying to figure out a way to get on this show. And somebody done told you, go to the fool. And you went to the fool, and here you are on our television screen on Bravo. Thanks, fool, Shereé. Ugh. I think Shereé is such a loser, dude. I'm sorry. I do. I don't care what she has. I don't care how big her house is. I don't care how fit she is. She just reminds me of like a loser, like a poser. Like, who are you? Like, I don't know. Her and Drew, I was like, look at when Drew got on my screen, I was looking like, girl, what? Anyways, he said something to Kenya. I don't care if I tried to F you 2 years ago. Kenya was like, oh, you cussing at me now? And Kenya was like, what did you say to this queen? Once a cheater, always a cheater, you effing piece of shit, is what she said to him. And then she told Shereé that's the same behavior as Bob. She was like, but you're trying to create a narrative, and it wasn't that deep. That's what Candy says. It wasn't that deep. And then she's like, okay, well, if it wasn't that deep, then why bring it up? No, the way that y'all responding to it, it's not that deep. I think, did Kenya say he tried to talk to me, or he slid in my DMs? And then the message deleted. And to Candy's point, she couldn't have deleted the message because she never accepted the message. He deleted it. He deleted the message. And you know, you can go in the DM and you could say unsend the message, and the message deletes. And that's why I didn't like that Candy pressed accept, because you should have left it the way it was. She should not accept messages from Martell. Period. Martell gets in the car and says they need to respect me too, and I'm a king just like they're queens. They need to respect me too, and I'm not taking it back, and I'm not apologizing. I said what I meant, what I said. Let me tell you something. One thing about Martell, and I think I've said it on my reviews before, he's not afraid to go at it with women. And I don't know, I like me, I don't think it's a big deal for men and women to argue. For some reason, in some areas of of different communities, they feel like men should not address women because of the threat of violence, right? Is it okay for a woman to get in a man's face? Is it okay for a man to get in a woman's face? No, it's not okay to get in anybody's face, regardless of gender. It's not okay because it can be seen as threatening and you don't know how the other person is going to react. So nobody should be getting in anybody's face, but I think it's okay for anyone to argue with anyone. I don't feel like you can't be in women's business and all that other stuff. I don't, that doesn't go with me. But Martell is the type of guy, he doesn't mind arguing and going back and forth with women. He does not. He does not care. He does not care. He will go back and forth. He doesn't care. In fact, I think he enjoys it, to be honest. We get on Drew. Her dad is in a nursing home. He has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She says that her singing kind of made him recognize her. She talked about groups that she was in and that singing is her passion. And I really didn't like the fact that Ralph was on the album or the single cover. Why is he standing behind you? I, I don't know. We're going to see them act their way through their relationship this entire time, knowing what was really going on in their relationship and the abuse that Drew was suffering at the hands and mouth of Ralph. The fact that she was in Chicago to look after her dad and he was still in Atlanta going to parties, I don't know about that. Anyways, she talked about Candy. Like, she was like, oh, I saw on the blogs that Candy was fighting. He was like, yeah, she was fighting with Courtney, who, Ralph lets us know that just so happens to be his cousin. Sonia and Candy go out to eat. They talked about how they went on to Orlando to Disney with their families, and they had a really good time. Ross is trying to let Sonia know, she's sharing with Candy, that Ross wants the house to themselves now. I think the family is preparing to everybody's kind of preparing to leave. I think she said the mom wants to go back to Florida, and I don't know about her sister. She said something about her sister being tired of her. Candy shares with us that Todd is now working on projects. Todd has always helped Candy with her projects, and now he wants her help on his projects, and she's not as available as he is. But I don't put enough into his projects. And you see how he mentioned that Mexican restaurant again. I don't understand why you just don't do Taco Tuesdays at OLG. I don't understand why there has to be a separate Mexican restaurant, a separate breakfast restaurant. Open OLG from whatever time to whatever time for breakfast, break for 2 hours, and then come back and start serving dinner. Like, I don't get it. Lunch and dinner, like, people do it all the time. This is where I get frustrated with Todd. I feel like that this woman has resources and you just want to use up all the resources, just using them instead of actually thinking about the smartest way to use the resources that you have and build on that instead of going around trying to build restaurants all over the place. I don't see Todd as a restaurateur. I don't see him like that. I just feel like when I see the way he does, that's the reason why I don't really, y'all love Todd. Y'all think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I think Todd Burris is is a person who just wants to suck up all the resources and use the resources because they're there. He knows that they're there. I don't like that. I think it's not smart to want to build a separate Mexican restaurant. If you want to do Taco Tuesdays, where on Tuesdays you serve Mexican food, do that. But I don't understand. Y'all can barely get the damn menus together for OLG and Blaze. Now you want to do a nut, like, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Y'all saw he mentioned it. Sonya lets Candy know that Courtney said that she basically, invited the hood element to this place called Tropicali, I guess it's called. I guess it's a place that, they have, I guess, a real high-end, classy, clientele. And when Candy went there, the next week it was hoodlicious. Candy said she attracts everybody, okay? What did you say when she said I was ghetto? Here goes Sonya, hemming and hawing. Now, Sonya's going to have to figure out who she wants to be friends with or how she's going to back up her friends. She did not back up Candy. She did not defend Candy. She started laughing. She did not say Candy is not hood, or I doubt that she, invited the hood element. She didn't say anything in defense of Candy. And I think that was a great question for Candy to ask. While this bitch was talking about me and up in my face, what did you say in defense of me? So you didn't defend me. And in the interview, Candy was like, no, she didn't defend me. She was probably up there laughing, and they showed it, and she was laughing. So we'll see how that goes. Candy says, fake classy bitches kill me. Sonya is still considering having baby number 2. Girl, that's your body. Do what the hell you want to do. I have nothing else to say about it. So they're at Blaze. It's Todd. Kelvin, is that his name? Kelvin. I think it's Kelvin. Is it Kevin or Kelvin? I don't know, but her cousin, that she basically raised. They're gonna do menu items. They're adding some menu items to the Blaze menu, and they're gonna do some taste testing. They had a crab burger, some wings, a twice baked potato. It was something else, some other wings, and it was something else. Was it a pasta? I think it was a pasta. I feel like it was a pasta. But anyways, they're going to do a tasting. And he was like, so what's up with the Mexican restaurant? And he was like, yeah, I just figure it's a way for us to make money. And she was like, so it's a money thing. That's what it is. He just wants to use resources to try to figure out ways to make money. And it's like, you're not really into like Mexican cuisine like that. You're just trying to figure out a way to make money. And it's just, I feel like it doesn't, I have gotten to a place where I feel like if you're not truly passionate about it, it doesn't align with the rest of there is no alignment. When there's no alignment between what you're doing for money and what you're passionate about, it's going to be hard for you to make money. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like once you get into figure out a way to do what you're passionate about and figure out a way to make money off of that, that's when the money flows effortlessly, right? It just starts coming. Where you are not in alignment with your passion and you're doing shit to make money and it's not in alignment, it's going to be hard for that cat. You will make some money, but it's not going to flow effortlessly. That's how I see it. That's my theory. The producer interrupts because Candy's cousin has I hope this is on. Okay, it's on. Candy's cousin has a brace or a cast on or whatever. And Candy, the producer comes in and was like, are we going to talk about the elephant in the room? And Todd was like, no, it's a legal issue. You could still say what happened. So Candy in the interview says that an employee came to the restaurant. He was intoxicated. Him and the cousin went outside to talk, and he ended up shooting her cousin. What if he would have killed her? And I truly believe that's the reason why OLG or Candy and the gang was not renewed, because it's a liability for just your employees to come in there wanting to shoot somebody. Like on Vanderpump Rules, I'm still confused as to why they haven't jumped Raquel. Like, girl, The way she's moving around that place, I'm surprised Katie, Lala, and Ariana haven't jumped that girl. And they have maintained so much restraint based on the way that girl is moving around. And then on this other show, you got people coming in with guns, shooting people. Like, girl, it. We can't film this. Yeah, y'all don't know how to act. Y'all don't know how to act. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. Because I was watching Katie cuss Raquel out. Raquel was in her face telling her I have more sympathy for, maybe I have more sympathy for Schwartz than I have for you. And Katie was looked over to Lala. She was like, you hear this shit she's saying to me? Like, to me, I would have slapped that girl a long time ago. Really, I don't know how those women are maintaining the restraint that they have maintained with this girl, the way that she's acting. And like I said, over here, you got people coming into the job with guns and shooting their employees. Totally different atmosphere, okay? And she said, yeah, he shot my cousin. So I don't know what the food tastes like, or how, they were just eating it. That scene was after she explained what happened, the scene was over. So Kenya, and she has a new friend named Akila, and she is a wife of, I guess he plays football. They showed him real quick, and I didn't even bother rewinding it and pausing it to see what his name was or anything like that, child. I was just like, okay. They are playing with their daughters, tennis. They're someplace playing tennis with the daughters. They sit down and finally start talking, and she's, talking about, I'm still trying to get a divorce. Kenya is still trying to get a divorce after that bum sat on TV and said, I don't need nothing from her. I don't need nothing from her. I'll just rebuild. And now you're trying to get her house. You're trying to get stuff from her. I really feel like Mark is a narcissist who wants to be attached to greatness. And that greatness is Kenya Moore. And he did whatever he can to be attached to her. And he wants to stay attached to her. I cannot wait until Kenya's divorce is final from that leech. I cannot wait. Anyway, so they talked about Moneta introducing her to Roy, the owner of Kale Me Crazy. He's a nice looking dude. I don't know how old he is though. But yeah, so she says that it's really good. The vibes are right. There's chemistry there or whatever. They started talking about the party. Akila was like talking about Martell, saying, that was the first time he met you and he went off on you like that? Yes, because that's the type of person he is. He will go off. He does not care. Y'all need to go watch Love and Marriage Huntsville so you can see how he behaves. They don't have nothing to do with Kenya saying he's aggressive. She's just calling it out. That's how that dude is. That's exactly how he is. Shereé and I need to sit down and talk. This is what Kenya is saying. She says yes, because we've both been in DV situations. And then they were saying that Shereé is digmatized. You too old to be digmatized. There's no way that you are over 50 and you are dumb about some dick. I'm sorry. It's so embarrassing. It really is embarrassing to see, because a lot of people are saying that Carlos King has hooked Shereé and Martell up to goop the girls, right? It's a scheme that Carlos set up to come to us with the bullshit, and that they're playing a role, they're playing around to get, Shereé on Love and Marriage and to get Martell on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that they're not really together, and this is just a game that they're playing. I hope that it is. I hope that Shereé isn't going this hard for a man who acts like this. There's no way in the world. Like I said, she's a loser. Like, there's no way you can be going up that hard for a man that you saw treat his ex-wife like this. Like, I just don't get it. You too old to be digmatized. Anyways, Shereé and Sonia, they go out to eat. Shereé is letting us know that she is a grandmother now, but she likes to be called Glamma. And that's what I said this morning on Twitter. I think it's kind of silly that women don't want to be called grandmother or grandma. The word grand means larger than life, and grand instead of Glamma. And this idea that you don't want to seem like you're old because you're a grandmother. You are a grandmother. You're greater than. Like I just don't understand. I think Nene said the same thing. She's called grandma too. I don't get it. I don't get it. I want to be grandmother, honey, the grand diva, honey. I want to be grand. Yes, like glam, girl, get out of here. Martell felt he was ambushed. They kind of dismissed the aggressive label that Kenya calls a man aggressive as soon as he raises his voice at her. She calls him aggressive. Don't raise your voice at me. Don't come at me talking to me crazy. That is aggressive. Okay, don't do it. So that's Kenya's barometer. As soon as they raise their voice, you're aggressive. You're talking to me aggressively. She did the same thing to Ross. Yes, and I don't know if y'all just used to men raising their voices at you, but they should not be raising their voices at you, especially if you haven't raised your voice at them. What are you getting so brolic with me for? Why are you puffing your chest up at me? Here comes Peter bucking his chest up at me like he gonna do something. For real, like, what are you doing all that for? You talking to me. I'm not gonna beat you up. So why are you getting aggressive? That's Kenya's barometer. And she did the same thing to Ross. And then here is Shereé. She can't do that to our black men because that's a label that you put. Girl, if the shoe fits, buy that motherfucker in every color. He was being aggressive. You don't need to get in my face and tell me, oh, you done probably answered all the DMs. And so what if I tried to fuck you 2 years ago? Who the fuck are you talking to? Period. Like, why is this dude getting all crazy with me? Like, he's aggressive. That's her barometer. We can't put that label on these black men. And every single black man you've been with has drug your ass, Shereé. And you still up here with your cape whooshing in the wind. Fucking idiot. She's such an idiot. That doesn't sit well with me. Girl, whatever. Kenya goes and she sees Shereé. Now, did y'all notice when Shereé was looking at her clothes, looking at these sweatshirts, she said she's looking at them as if she's not satisfied. We have figured out that Shereé is one of those women who pull the stunt that she is not satisfied with the product, so she doesn't have to pay. We know that she does not pay. She buy, she don't pay. Okay. She doesn't, that's what and I noticed what she was doing when they unwrapped that sweatshirt. She was like, oh, what is this and that. All of a sudden now you're not pleased with it. And then when she says, am I gonna have to pay to get these steamed? And the woman's like, yes, you are. Shereé doesn't like to pay. That has been the theme around Shereé for years. She does not like to pay. That's how she be getting over. She acts like she's dissatisfied with the product, so she doesn't have to pay. She tells Shereé, here comes Kenya in her, leopard outfit, honey. I said, come on, Kenya. Kenya had on a onesie with the belt around. I said, come on, bitch. She came through. She says that, what's up with the guy that Manetta introduced you to, Roy? There's chemistry there, right? And she was like, no, girl, what's up with you and Martell? Is it official? She was like, no, we're dating. She was like, so do y'all have a lot in common? Yeah, we both scamming the girls. We scamming everybody down to OWN and Bravo. That's what they have in common. The only thing Martell and Shereé have in common is Carlos King. That's the only thing they have in common, child. I remember watching his show, and I remember how he treated his wife. I don't know him, and I don't want to get to know him. That's what Kenya said. That's my thing. I need for somebody to explain to me, if you see how this man is treating his wife, why do you think he's a viable person to date? That man should have a scarlet letter on his chest. He really should. Like, women should want to stay away from him. And not that he treated his ex-wife like that, but he also treated the mistress in a wrong way as well, calling her a peasant. The way he treated her, just he doesn't treat women right. And I don't think that he should have access to women. And I don't understand how desperate you have to be to want to partner with a man who treats women poorly. Like, what do you think is going to be your story with him? Do you think you're going to have a different story based on what you've seen him? You're going to be different somehow? No, you're not going to be different. You know why? Because there was no consequence for how he treated Mel. There was no consequence for how he treated Ariane. He's been able to still access women. So you will not be treated any differently, because he doesn't know the consequence of mistreating women and how he should not have access to women. Y'all still give him access to women, so he's not going to change how he treats women. He's not. She says it was 6 months ago. I said it was around 6 months ago. No, she said it was 6 months ago, but it was 2 years ago. Shereé said he already told her about it. I don't believe that. I think y'all would like each other. She's still trying to sell Martell to Kenya, and Kenya's like, no, I just saw the way he treats women. I don't think he's a good person, and I don't want to get to know anything about him. And then Kenya says, it's bros before hoes. And she was like, wait, no, it's not. She said, no, we're the bros in this situation. And that's true. That's one thing that I don't think women have down. They do not have down girls before these fools. Like, men have it down. Bros before hoes, they don't care. They do not care. They will stick with their boys through thick and thin. It doesn't matter. Bros before hoes. Women do not have that concept down at all. They don't. Some women do, but a large majority of women don't have the concept down where we put each other before these niggas, and y'all don't have it down. I didn't like the fact that he was saying I was responding to everybody's DM, and she's like, I just feel like y'all was trying to make something out of nothing. And then Shereé says, you know, she mentions the aggressive thing again. And Shereé says, are black men public enemy number one because you don't have one? Do you think she wants a black man like Martell? If she wanted a black man, would he be like Martell? Would he be like Mark? Would he be like Bob Whitfield? Would he be like Tyrone? If so, no. The value that y'all put into these niggas that they don't put into y'all, it has to be studied. It has to be studied. Somebody needs to study how you pick me, mammy, male identified women, put these men and value these men more than they value you. It must be studied. I don't get it. And you think that that's the reason why black men are public enemy number one in Kenya's book, because she doesn't have one. Meanwhile, she's dating a dude who she says she has chemistry with, make her feel some things going on. That's what she likes. She tried it. Manetta tried it. Manetta tried it, and look where she ended up. If you end up on the other side of things because the ones that look like you ain't shit and don't value you, then so be it. That's where y'all need to be, because the value that y'all put into these, because they don't put into y'all. They don't even look at you and see themselves. They don't. But you look at them and see yourself. I see my brother, girl, bye. That's why I say Shereé is whack. You are the worst type of woman, because you are the same woman. What season was that when Kim Fields was there and that woman's nephew ran up on Kenya and got in Kenya's face? And then at the reunion, y'all act like he wasn't aggressive. You are the worst type of woman that will sit up and defend an aggressive man towards a woman when you don't like the woman. That's another thing women don't have down. If you don't like the woman, you will be okay with any acts of aggression towards her. You will be okay with violence committed against her. You're the worst type and a dangerous type of woman. I don't fool with she broke. I don't fool with she scams. I don't fool with that fool. That's a fool right there. That's a fool. What are you defending? And then you want to turn it around and make it seem like they're public enemy number one because she doesn't have one like yours. Girl, bye. anyways, y'all, that was the end of the episode. We see what's going to happen next week. Let me know what y'all think of the episode. Tell me what y'all think. Let's get down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Share the video, clip the video. Let me know if there's a section that you want me to clip and make into a short for 1 minute, a little 1 minute clip or something. Let me know. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.